Deep below the world of men, beyond the reach of sunlight and time, there is a place where the earth itself still burns. The ground trembles with memory, and molten rivers move like veins through the stone. Bright, slow, alive. Here, light does not shine. It bleeds. It moves like something that remembers being alive, something that cannot die, no matter how much it wishes to. This is the bed of chaos, the heart that beats beneath all fire. It is not a place, but a wound, a scar left behind when the first flame broke the world. The air hums with sorrow. Each drop of magma whispers of what once was. A golden city, a mother of flame, and the first mistake of creation. The undead who walks this path feels it immediately. The pull of the earth, the weight of heat that is more than heat. It is grief, ancient and unrelenting. The walls glow with veins of orange light, the color of dying embers. Each flicker tells a story older than God's. A story of love, of fear, of the need to hold on to what was never meant to last. And at the very heart of this burning maze, something vast waits. It does not move, but it breathes. Each exhale shakes the roots that bind the cavern. Each breath is a whisper, not of hatred, but of apology. For this is not a monster's den. It is a mother's grave. The world above still lives because of what sleeps below, the fire that refuses to die, and the soul that will not rest until it has kept the world warm, even as it consumes itself. The undead steps closer, feeling the air thicken, the light pulse like a living heart. And in that moment, the truth becomes clear. All fire begins here, and all things that burn will one day return. Before the world was hollow, before the gods turned their faces from the light, there was a woman whose heart burned brighter than the sun. She was called the Witch of Izalith, a mother of flame, a weaver of miracles, a creator who shaped warmth into life. When the first flame was found, she was among those who claimed its power. With it, she gave form to the world, fire to the forges, light to the heavens, and souls to her children. But even gods cannot bear to see what they love begin to die. And in time, the first flame began to fade. Its brilliance dimmed, its warmth turned cold, and the age of fire trembled toward its end. The witch, unwilling to surrender what she had built, made a vow. She would not let the fire die. She would make another. She gathered her daughters, her loyal servants, and the strength of her ancient soul. She reached deep into the dying flame, offering her power, her knowledge, her being, to kindle life anew. But the fire she created was not flame. It was chaos. It was life unbound by order, light unchained from meaning, a fire that devoured its own creator as it bloomed. Her spell did not give birth to warmth, but to madness, a hunger that could never rest. The flames rose, alive, screaming, reaching. They did not obey. They wanted more. The witch cried out as her own creation turned upon her, devouring her form, burning through her kingdom. The daughters she loved were caught in the blaze, their souls twisted into things half divine, half broken. And thus, the first sin of fire was born, the attempt to preserve what must be allowed to fade. For in her love, she could not let go. And in not letting go, she became the root of every flame that would ever burn again. The witch's brilliance became torment. Her devotion became ruin. Her light became chaos. And the world, once golden, was swallowed by her mercy. Before her fall, she was a mother of wonders, the Witch of Izalith, a being of wisdom, creation, and warmth. Her magic was not born of conquest, but of care. Her fire brought life to the dead stone, light to the first darkness, and hope to a world still learning how to breathe. She was no god of vanity, no tyrant in shining halls. She was a mother, and all that she created, she loved. Her daughters walked beside her, bright and graceful, each one carrying a spark of her great flame. They built temples of molten glass, forges that glowed like sunrise beneath the earth. Their laughter filled the halls of Izalith, and for a time the world was warm. But warmth, even divine, is fragile. When the first flame began to fade, the witch felt it before any other. She felt it in the dimming of her daughter's eyes, in the chill that crept across her heart. And in that silence, she made a choice no mother should make. She reached into her own soul and offered it to the dying fire. She tried to recreate the gift the world had been given, to light a new beginning. For she could not bear to see her children live in the dark. She could not watch the world grow cold. Her intention was pure. Her love was boundless. But love, when bound to fire, cannot remain gentle for long. The flame she birthed was not the same. It did not warm, it consumed. It spread without reason, a fire that could not distinguish between life and death. And when it reached for her, she did not run. She let it take her. She believed she could still control it. But no mother can command what she has birthed in grief. The flame took her name, her body, her mind. It left behind only the echo, the bed of chaos, a cradle of roots and fire, forever weeping for what it had unmade. The witch was gone, but her soul still burned, trapped within the heart of her creation. A mother dreaming of the light she destroyed and the warmth she could never give again. The flame she created did not stay still. It grew. It reached. It hungered. At first, it clung to her hands like a child afraid of the dark. Then it spread, through her chambers, through her daughters, through the stone and air of Izalith itself. The fire no longer obeyed. It became a will without shape, a hunger without voice. It was alive. The walls melted. The ground bled light. The sky beneath the earth turned red. And from every corner of her kingdom rose the screams of her children, twisting, breaking, changing. Their bodies melted into new forms, half divine, half monstrous. Their beauty fused with the flame that had once adorned them. Where laughter had once echoed, now came the sound of burning flesh. The witch of Izalith, seeing the horror she had birthed, tried to contain it. She spread her arms wide, calling the fire back to her, as though she could cradle it once more. But it was too late. The chaos flame devoured her, its tendrils burrowing into her flesh, rooting her to the molten floor. Her soul, vast and ancient, shattered into 1,000 embers. Each ember became a spirit of its own, a living fragment of her pain. And from that agony, the bed of chaos was born, a body of roots, a core of fire, and the faint echo of a woman's breath still lingering somewhere inside. She no longer thought, she no longer spoke, but she moved, a slow, ceaseless motion, as if trying to reach for something she could no longer hold. The roots spread through the world below, carrying her sorrow into every crack and cavern. From them, new life began to emerge. Not human, not divine, but something between. The demons. The chaos had made her their mother, their creator, their curse. And so the witch's love for her children became her eternal torment. Every flame that burned, every life born of her ruin, was another reminder that mercy, too, can destroy. From her body, fire spilled like blood. It seeped into the earth, filled the hollow places beneath the world, and began to take form. The first to rise from that molten womb were not gods, nor beasts, but demons. Creatures shaped by grief and flame, their souls fragments of the mother who had burned herself. Each one was born of her agony. Each one carried her warmth twisted by sorrow. They crawled from her roots screaming, their bodies still glowing with the memory of creation. And when they opened their eyes, they saw her, The bed of chaos, still burning, still alive, a mother they could never reach. To them, she was not horror. She was holiness. They gathered around her in worship, their prayers made of fire and ash. Their world was ruin, but they called it sacred ground. From her pain came the demon Firesage, the first to speak with thought. Then came the Capra, the Taurus, and all the infernal kin who would spread her will across the dying land. They built their kingdom upon her body, a fortress of living flame, the demon ruins, where every wall was carved from sorrow, and every light burned in mourning. To the gods above, these beings were abominations, proof of the witch's sin. They called them enemies of order, born to be slain. But to the demons, the fire was truth, the last remnant of a love so deep it could not die, even when it consumed its own maker. The witch herself, or what remained of her, lay silent beneath them, her body a tree of roots and molten veins, her mind drifting between dream and agony. Yet within that endless suffering, something pure still flickered, the faint echo of her heart, still whispering the same word over and over. Children. The demons heard it in their flames. It guided them, gave them purpose, gave them the will to burn for her. Thus began the age of chaos, not out of hatred, but out of love twisted by despair. And though her children were monstrous, their fire carried her warmth still, a reflection of a mother who tried to save the world, and instead gave it a new kind of life. The witch of Izalith was gone. Her voice had faded. Her form had become one with the roots and fire that devoured her. Yet the flame she birthed, the chaos flame, still lived. It did not age. It did not sleep. It simply burned, forever feeding on the sorrow that made it. Around her ruin, the demons thrived. They built their world in the heat of her agony, their faith bound not to gods above, but to the mother below. Every ember they kindled, every battle they fought, was an act of devotion, a way to keep her suffering alive, for they believed her pain was sacred. Above, the gods looked down in silence. They had once called her sister, equal in might, greater in heart. Now they whispered her name with fear, for her chaos was not death. It was rebirth without end, a fire that would not fade, a curse that even the first flame could not tame. Deep within her body of roots, the witch's soul still trembled, like a heart refusing to die. It pulsed with the rhythm of eternity, each beat giving rise to new fire, new life, new sorrow. And so the eternal burn began, a cycle of warmth and ruin, of life born only to suffer, a flame that no longer needed purpose to exist. The bed of chaos had become the foundation of all that followed. Every demon flame, every torch in the world of men, was her echo. Even the fires of Anerlando, even the flames of war, were her breath, thin and sorrowful, still trying to give warmth to a world that would never thank her. The witch had sought to save the age of fire, and in doing so, she made it eternal, a flame that could never truly die, only change form. The gods abandoned her, the mortals forgot her, but the fire remembered, and the fire does not forgive. Still it burns beneath the world, not out of rage, but out of duty. For even now, as the ages turn and crumble, the heart of Izalith still beats, a mother's fire, weeping through the stone, keeping the world warm long after her name was lost. And above her ruin, in every spark that flickers, you can still hear the echo of her love, a warmth that endures, no matter the pain it brings. The path to the heart of Izalith is long, and every step feels older than the one before. The air is thick with heat and memory, and the walls glow with a light that does not comfort. The undead stands before the bed of chaos, and sees not a monster, but a monument, a being made of grief, roots twisting through molten stone, fire breathing from its wounds like sighs. It moves slowly, not with fury, but with exhaustion. Its arms fall and rise like dying branches, still reaching for something it once held, the warmth of her children, the promise of the flame. When the undead strikes, the air shudders, the roots break, and the light spills from within, not like blood, but like tears. The creature groans, a low, hollow sound that trembles through the bones of the world. And for a moment, it seems as though the entire earth stops to listen. The final blow comes softly, a motion lost in blinding light. The bed of chaos collapses inward, its fire folding upon itself, its roots curling like fingers releasing a final grip. Then silence, not the silence of death, but of peace. The flames no longer rage. They hum, a soft, weary song, and from within the dying light, a faint warmth brushes against the undead soul, as though the mother herself were whispering, "Thank you." It is not victory that follows, but sorrow. For the world has lost its first light again, the fire that gave birth to everything. Yet in its end, there is mercy. The flame, once twisted by love and madness, has finally found rest. The undead stands in the quiet chamber. Ash drifts like falling snow. The roots no longer reach. The fire no longer cries. Only the echo remains, the memory of a woman who loved too fiercely, and a world she could not let go. Above, the surface world still glows with her remnants. Every candle, every bonfire, every spark that burns against the dark. It all began here, in the heart of her silence. The age will go on. Flame will fade. Darkness will rise. And yet, somewhere beneath it all, the mother still dreams. A quiet ember beneath eternity, keeping the cold at bay. The bed of chaos sleeps, and the world is warm once more. And so the fire dimmed, but never died.